I admit, a bit of a bombastic overture. But I couldn't resist myself. Dear viewers, welcome to my science hero Johannes Kepler. For me, he was the first with the attitude that was needed for the extremely impressive progress that science has made ever since. He was far ahead of his time in that respect. But for the rest, he was deeply in his own time. And these two fascinating storylines I want to share with you. When I was walking here, decades ago, I didn't yet know all that. But it was here, at my high school, that the word Kepler first entered my neural network.
In fact, in this very classroom. And this was the book that we used. Here, in this book, the name Kepler emerged for the first time. It says that Johannes Kepler was an astronomer that followed the heliocentric view of Copernicus with the sun in the middle instead of the Earth. And he calculated like crazy until he found his three laws. Planetary orbits are elliptical, they sweep equal surfaces in equal times, and the ratio of the orbit time squared and radius to the power 3 is constant. And that was all. An industrious calculator. No wonder that my fascination for Kepler had to wait another roughly 6 years for a second opportunity. That was high school. I had decided to study physics, probably in this room, because I wanted to understand space-time, quantum mechanics and black holes.
So I studied physics. Here, only to find out that I was not born for understanding these highly, deeply abstract concepts. But I took an interest in how science develops, and that concepts that are just common knowledge now had to be dragged out of nature's secret cellars with pain and trouble. I took a minor in the history of science. Fortunately, although I did not understand general relativity, I was able to understand a teletransporter. Beam me up. Good shot! Right in front of the building where I took the lectures. And here in this book, the name Kepler re-emerged. Here and there, I made some notes and drew some lines. But look here. Not one line, but several. The only place where I did that. The seeds of a fascination had been sown.
Then regular life took hold of me. I did a PhD, I found the girl that I wanted to marry, and we were blessed with 3 beautiful children and a generous mortgage. My career morphed me into a busy chemical engineer, and Kepler disappeared from my attention. But not from my neural network. And with the children leaving the nest and free time increasing, my hero re-emerged in my thoughts as the sun through the clouds on a beautiful day. I remembered what triggered my admiration. He had thought he unraveled God's plan. Why there were exactly 6 planets, including Earth, and why they moved at the distances around the sun as they did, by a beautiful geometric argument. But he received better data, and he couldn't match them with his model. And instead of blaming the data, he blamed his theory. His beautiful theory. Dropped it and searched for a better way. And found it. Not only doing away with his own great idea, but also with the millennia-old dogma that heavenly movements must be circular and perfect. Sorry, Plato. Sinomi, Aristotle. So I started to read about him. And the more I read, the more my admiration and fascination grew. I discovered that he did much much more than figuring out elliptic orbits. He laid the foundations of optics, designed an improved telescope, was the first to understand how the eye works, and probably, no, I think certainly most revolutionary, searched for a cause, like a force, to understand the planetary movements. And yes, he wrote the first science fiction novel. Science is developed by giants, standing on the shoulders of giants. In physics, many think of Einstein and Newton as these giants. That may be true, but I hope to make the point that they were all standing on Kepler's shoulders. And that it was Kepler that created the dividing line between the Dark Ages and enlightened science. In fact, that dividing line went right through him. The latter cannot better be illustrated than by the fact that while he was working on his 3 famous laws, he had to interrupt that work to defend his mother in a witch trial. I felt a growing desire to share my fascination with the rest of the world. Not by another biography, but in a little bit more modern form, as a series of videos. I would like to guide you through his life and his scientific work, and I hope that you will be just as intrigued as I am by what he accomplished amidst turbulent times of religious and political conflicts. But first, we need to build an understanding of the state of astronomy when he entered the stage in 1571. Stay tuned.